Hello everybody, we're back, and as you can tell the light is red, like a love. Because February is the year of of Valentine's gimmick movies. And by that I mean Hard Eyes, which we watched today, Love Hurts, as well as the final Valentine's special, Red Hulk, coming to theaters soon. So Aiden, what's the plot of Hard Eyes, Love Eyes, Hard Eyes?
Hard Eyes is in a long tradition of holiday gimmick slasher movies. It's a movie about a guy who kills people on Valentine's Day. But unlike a lot of holiday gimmick slashers, which don't really have anything to do with their holidays, this is also a rom-com between millennial woman and black man who speaks, has the cadence of, and the exact accent and intonation of Jerry Seinfeld. And he goes, "What's the deal with that Hard Eyes killer? 1 minute, you're in a drive-in movie, and then there's a guy with a knife. What kind of world are we living in, George?" Connor, what'd you think of Hard Eyes?
Hard Eyes is like a slightly less good version of those reboot Scream movies, in that it wants to be really clever. It kind of hits all of like the Gen Alpha and Gen Z TikTok romance memes. We have the main lady, and she's single because all the men are nice guys and incels and mean or whatever. And her best friend has a sugar daddy who pays her credit cards. And she's like, "What?" And then lady from Fast and Furious is a cop who travels around place to place. And then you have hunky Jerry Seinfeld guy who I literally looked it up because me and Aiden at the same time leaned into each other to be like, this guy's fucking talking like Jerry Seinfeld. Like, it wasn't just me, it wasn't just him. We both made the astute observation about one scene after the guy came in. Yeah. He even kind of looks like Jerry Seinfeld, so I was like, does he have like a kid with like
Jerry
a 50?
Seinfeld's
Did he like
illegitimate half-black child?
Well, I mean, I don't think Jerry Seinfeld discriminates as long as they're legally underage in most states. He's like, "What's the deal with the fact that we started dating in Japan? What's the deal with that?"
He has a laminated age of consent card.
He has the laminated age of consent card like in Transformers 4. But Jerry Seinfeld and the fact that he gets away with stuff because, I don't know, it doesn't really matter. But I thought he might have a black kid because I thought this was his child. But it wasn't. It's actually Cuba Gooding Jr.'s nephew. But he comes to town and it becomes kind of a rom-com. He's has his problems with women because he fails to connect with a lot of women because of the modern woman, you know. Who knows? His ex-girlfriend might have been on OnlyFans and had gotten banged 1,000 times in one day, like I saw on the Daily Mail.
Yeah.
The tabloids talking about it. Maybe his girlfriend ended up in the tabloids. I don't know. Doesn't really explain it. But anyways, the Hard Eyes killer is a guy who is going around killing couples, and his gimmick is that he goes place to place. Well, turns out it was Fast and Furious lady and her husband, who's some guy who's in one fucking scene, and then their buddy. and then they really want to make Jerry Seinfeld a red herring. Like, she's like, you happen to have been at every state that the killer was in. He's like, I'm a freelancer. And you're like, okay. At first I thought it was him. Because he came in and they were mixing tropes though. Because he came in, I don't think it would have been too obvious. I think they were trying to play the boyfriend role, but they did like the dramatic, like, you know, love songs playing. He's there and he's like, Too Good to Be True. He comes out of nowhere. I'm thinking he's the Hard Eyes Killer, and then he's like, I travel for work. So in a normal horror movie, they would just never mention he travels for work again, and then he would be the killer. But since it's also mixing rom-com tropes, I'll admit that threw me off. There's some really strange dialogue in this movie. Like, someone will say something, and then someone will respond to that, and it sounds right, and then you think about it, and you're like, what the fuck did that mean? Like, the writing on this movie wasn't very good. Cinematography was fine sometimes. It just kind of, and it also just like, I don't know, it wanted to be funny really bad and relatable to the TikTok kids, which I think was a smart marketing move, because I think a lot of the teenage couples that sneak into this that are like, have been brain rotten, skibbity toilet and TikTok since they were like 12 and now they're 17, like ideal age for a modern blowjob feature. And I think the movie checks a lot of the boxes. It is entertaining enough, like it keeps you watching, but then like the plot of the movie is just really convoluted, and there's no other characters, It's these two, and then like there's the friend and stuff, but the friend's not really connected to the plot, so no one else really dies. They didn't really have the nads to kill off any main characters, so I don't know if there's a single like named fucking character in the whole movie that the Hard Eyes Killer actually kills, except for
the other cop.
Paul Walker's girlfriend from Fast and the Furious, Dominic Toretto's sister from Fast and Furious's partner cop. I think that's the only like named character. So it's just kind of the Hard Eyes Killer chasing these two around with killing unnamed people, and there's some good gore and stuff, but at the end of the day, it's not a slasher movie with the gimmick that it's a Valentine's Day movie. It's a rom-com with the gimmick that it's a slasher movie. And that's the distinction I guess you have to make, because I think it'll play well to the intended audience of a bunch of kids trying to swap oral sex in the movie theater. That might be a little too spicy for you too. You know what I mean. It's a blowjob picture.
Yep.
And this, that's fine. It wasn't for me. I thought the actresses and actors were good. I thought the gore was good. It felt a little Reddit-y sometimes. It was like a mixture of like...
A little bit.
It felt like Reddit in the way that it was a bunch of like... clearly written by a bunch of 30-year-old dudes who themselves are upset that they subscribe to OnlyFans accounts, but then they like watch 14-year-olds on TikTok and then steal their thing. Like, I'm honestly surprised at no point did they say like skibbity hard eyes. It just felt a little like it was like when boomers were making movies. Or I guess they were doing like Gen X. But like when Gen X was making movies that appealed to us when we were kids. Where you're like, that's not how that is supposed to sound. Like, it's the terminology. It's just clearly something made up. But yeah, it felt very much like a Reddit, like Rick and Morty rom-com mixed with a slasher movie. It was fine. It was entertaining. But I... did not find it to be a spectacular cinematic display by any means. It was just fine. So Aiden, what did you think of Hard Eyes?
I liked it a lot. I thought it was fun. Outside of the main love interest guy sounding an uncanny amount like Jerry Seinfeld.
Even like the mannerisms.
He kind of looks like Jerry Seinfeld, but black.
Yeah.
And he sounds just like him, and he kind of acts like him.
It's the face looks like Jerry Seinfeld.
He even tells like corny jokes through the whole movie. Like, he's an uncanny amount like Jerry Seinfeld, and it's impossible to get used to.
It also kind of
every
feels
single
like
time
a
he
Seinfeld
talks
episode in a way. Because he's the whole time he's sitting there, he's like, "Why does this happen to me? Why is Hard Eyes Killer coming after me?" And then he goes to jail, and he's like,
I'm
not the Hard Eyes
date, George!
I'm clearly not the Hard Eyes Killer! And then the lady's like, "Why are your initials carved in the ring?" And he's like, well, why would I know? I'm not the Hard Eyes Killer. And then, like, he's like, I don't know. It's just
a very elaborate plot.
And then she's like, well, you were also at all of the places he was. And then it goes, ba-doom, ba-boom, ba-boom. And it cuts to the next scene where the girlfriend's at, like, a coffee shop and the Hard Eyes Killer shows up or something. I don't know. It's a fucking Seinfeld
Kramer busts in and shouts, "Giddy up!"
Yeah, the thing gets shot in the face with a crossbow or something. Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. Fucking weird.
No, it's uncanny. It's bizarre.
The whole
I liked it. I thought it was funny. Good kills. It's a gimmick slasher. Gimmick slashers are surprisingly rare nowadays. Slashers in general are kind of a dead genre in favor of.
What are you talking about, bro? Terrified.
Blumhouse. Fucking Terrified. That's true.
Fucking Terrified.
That's true.
Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey 2 dropped. I saw it at the Walmart bin. It didn't make it to theaters like the first one did, so it might have flown under the
When's
radar.
the Mickey Mouse one coming out? I know
Steamboat Willie, that's coming out this year. There's a Popeye one coming out this year, and Peter Pan.
Is Steamboat Willie gonna crawl into theaters?
I hope so.
That'd be so funny.
Steamboat Willie, Popeye, and Peter Pan are coming out this year. Probably along with a third Winnie the Pooh sequel.
So excited.
Well, did you hear the other thing is Amazon has greenlit like a 90% created by AI Winnie the Pooh TV show?
Yes, I did.
There you go.
That's
happening.
I don't even remember, outside of the Terrifier movies, which I think are bad, I can't remember the last time a slasher's come out. Like, even Hellfest was like 5 years ago.
The Scream?
Oh, I guess
2 years
the Scream
ago,
movies,
I guess,
yeah.
though. Those ones got stuck up.
I kind of wasn't. I didn't really think of the Scream movies, but
they're
they
like,
are
you know what?
slashers, yeah.
These people have said they don't stand with Israel, so they're getting fired. And then Jenna Ortega's like, yeah, I guess I stand with Israel too, or something. Actually, I just don't want to do shitty ass movies anymore.
Yeah.
Halloween, the Halloween trilogy, David Gordon Green.
Do those count as slashers?
They be talking.
The first movie does. I don't know.
Yes, they all do. Because the second one,
Halloween kills.
The second one, he kills the fucking funny gay couple, but otherwise it sucks. And the third one, you got the kid.
But he's not really a slasher. Well, there's like.
I mean, is this guy a slasher? He's almost like a superhero because they're like getting in like he keeps getting in sword fights and shit with the main character. It's like a fucking Robin Hood-esque, bro.
Slashers aren't entirely a dead genre, but non-legacy sequel slashers. It's just a fun
acting
like
Terrifier's a legacy sequel. Shake my head. Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey, a legacy sequel. Shake my head.
It's a romantic comedy slasher hybrid. It's weird and surprisingly funny and entertaining. It has the kills. It's got good music. It's just a good time. It's not any less stupid than most of the slashers. A good majority of slasher movies are kind of fucking stupid, especially the gimmick ones from the 80s like Black Christmas.
Yeah. Prom Night. There's the Incredibly Based, and we did the Drunkviews on it. Sleepaway Camp.
Yep, Sleepaway Camp. That's a good gimmick one.
It's gonna be banned media, bro. There's gonna be book burnings.
Black Christmas.
Once they find out the twist on that one.
Black Christmas, and I'm sure there's been My Bloody Valentine. They've already done a Valentine's one, and the one in the gym, Death Spot.
The prom night with Jamie Lee Curtis.
I don't know. I had fun. I like slashers, so I was biased to like this, but
the end also had such a stupid twist. It was Saw-esque. The Saw-esque twist where it's like dun, dun, dun.
I mean, it's essentially
like, I chased him around and did the switcheroo.
It's essentially just like it's pretty much just the Scream twist.
Yeah.
Like almost exactly.
Yeah, I know this movie really apes off Scream.
It's like a holiday gimmick themed version of Scream with a romantic comedy shoved in.
Yeah.
It's pretty fun. Would you recommend Hard Eyes?
If you're trying to get all touchy-feely on your girlfriend or boyfriend, or non-binary friend, I don't know what you call them.
Romantic life partner?
Yeah, I guess partner at that point. If you and your partner want to get all touchy-feely, I mean, you could probably skip whole scenes of this movie. It don't matter because the movie doesn't even coherently come together. It's just a bunch of shit happening for 90 minutes and then it ends. So if you want to get freaky at the movies, I say a resounding yes. If you're single this Valentine's Day and you're just trying to, you don't have a domestic life partner. You're trying to wipe tears away. Unfortunately, the twist really undermines the incel rage story they very well could have been setting up here. So I would give it a no. But who knows? Next week is Captain America. We also have Short Round starring in his own Hot Valentine's Day John Wick clone we're going to review in a couple days. So, who knows? It might not even be, maybe there's options for the single folks too. I'm sure Captain America New World Order will be perfect.
Yeah, I'm sure.
For your local Redditor. Well, this movie was pretty good for your local Redditor. So yes, you know what? I've come to grips with it. I didn't like it that much, but yes, I recommend it. Aiden, would you recommend Hard Eyes?
Yep, I thought it was very fun. Nice little slasher movie. Dumb gimmick. I approve.